guys, I'm Caitlin from Caitlin with Honey, and today we're going to be making Caprese Stew. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is set your water to boil because you're going to be cooking your orzo. The next thing you're going to want to do is chop your vegetables while your water is boiling. You're going to have 3 medium zucchini, 3 squash, yellow squash, half an onion, and 2 cups of mushrooms. I like cremini, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, and that's what I'm using, but you can definitely use white. For your zucchini, you're probably going to want to chop them first into slices and then into quarters, so you're kind of dicing them. Anyway, that's my favorite way of doing it. Make sure to stir your orzo every so often, make sure it's not sticking, and by the way, you're going to want to cook this al dente, not all the way. Once your oil is heated through, you're going to want to add the onions into it and let them saute for just a minute. And then after they've cooked for about a minute, you're going to want to add your other chopped vegetables and just slowly saute them. And you don't want to cook them all the way because you're going to be adding them to the stew a little bit later. It's just kind of a way to get them cooking. So these have been on for about a minute. Probably cook them a little more, but I'm going to start adding everything else. I'm going to start actually with the squash. Alright, I've been covering this just for a minute and letting the zucchini and onions cook. They're starting to brown just a little bit. Now I'm going to add the squash, the yellow squash I mean, and the mushrooms. And now I'm going to recover it and let this cook for about 3 to 5 more minutes and stir every so often. So while your vegetables are cooking, you're going to want to turn a big pot on and do 2 of these big containers of diced tomatoes in tomato juice. You're going to want to pour them right in. You're going to want to let them cook until they're kind of boiling, as much as, of course, tomatoes can boil. Okay, so once your tomatoes are kind of bubbling and boiling, you're going to want to take this Newman's Own tomato basil sauce, which I love and smells phenomenal. You can add as much as you want. I like to start with about half a bottle and then kind of add it to taste. So I'm going to start there and see if I want to add more later. Okay, so once your tomatoes and tomato sauce are boiling, you're going to want to add, where did I put it? About 1.5 teaspoons of garlic, or if you like chopping garlic, which I don't, you can do 3 cloves of it, but really, why do that when you can have powder? That's kind of my view on it. And then you're going to want to add that extra basil. Just kind of had a few leaves, chopped them up, and now I'm going to throw them in. Add your orzo in. Hold on, it's sticking a little bit, as it probably will for you too. I'm going to stir it all in. Make sure it's not clumping together. I'm going to take my cannellini beans or white kidney beans, whatever you want to call them, and pour them in. Just kind of push all the veggies in. Probably be more careful than I'm being. I spill in the kitchen all the time. You've probably seen that in my pictures if you read my blog. So pour that all in. So at this point, it's becoming really thick. It's definitely a stew, not a soup. Now that this has been simmering for about, I'd say 10 minutes, although you could let it simmer for much longer, or if you're really hungry, you could probably just eat it right away. This is the most fun part. I've got about 1.5 cups of baby mozzarella balls, and I'm just going to throw them in. And you don't want to leave these in for long. You definitely don't want to let it simmer anymore. This is like the last step. You're going to mix them in, and I'd say let them sit for no more than 1.5 minutes. Because you want to get them all the way in, and you want to get them cooking, but you don't want them to melt all the way. So I'm not even going to let all of it sit, and I'm going to serve the first bowl. So this is how I'd serve it. I'd have probably 2 to 3 scoops. Let me get another mozzarella ball in there. And then I'm going to top it with just a little bit of Parmesan Asiago and Romano, and that's what it's going to look like in the end. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye.